All right. So here we are, a nice Friday afternoon wind down. It's actually 11:30 here in Mauritius, but I'm quite happy doing this as well. And I thought a really nice way for us to end the week. Just reflecting a little bit, because as I've done all week in the Resonance Practice Portal, I like to sort of start off the class with a little bit of a theme. And one thing that just popped into my sort of feeling in my own body and in my thoughts is just asking yourself the question, in what ways are you showing up for yourself right now in life in general? What commitments and what non-negotiables have you created for yourself? And what drives you to want to apply these in your life? And I think that, at all times our non-negotiables change. But I feel like these things are always kind of rooted in an awareness of our sense of energy within our body. And when I say body, I'm not just, of course, referring to the physical body. I'm also referring to the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, all of the layers of the being. And this is part of our conscious awareness, just being aware of what our own needs are in any given moment. And we might find that we need to kind of navigate the path a little bit differently at times to sort of meet our needs. But the question is, what are you doing to show up for yourself, to maintain that energetic standard for yourself, to upgrade, your sense of energy, your awareness of your energy? All right, so we've got this really delicious Friday afternoon restorative session for you. And if you've missed, just in case you missed one of my previous posts, make sure that you either have a chair or a lounge or the end of a bed, or if you're on a bed, you can use the bed head, the wall. It's pretty easy to sort of find something that, or of course a wall is fine as well. So we might actually just start lying down and sort of moving into this part of the practice first. I'll just adjust this camera so that you can see a little bit better. All right, so just come down onto your back and just have your legs up on your chair or your wall. If, like me, you're using a chair, I've actually got my blanket rolled up a little bit towards the back of the chair so that the lower part of my calves are supported. And I find that this just takes a little bit of the pressure off the back of your legs when you're lying down. And just make some wiggles and some adjustments so that the lower back, finds full support of the ground. The spine is in a fairly neutral or relaxed position, and just maybe even wiggle the knees in and out just a few times, sort of rolling the backs or rolling the legs a little bit in and out, just gently. And really just practice letting the weight of the legs kind of fall into the chair or even a wall. And then just find that spot. Just come to a place of stillness. I like to have my hands just resting on my belly. We might open up with 3, actually we'll do 5 nice big belly breaths here just to begin our practice. So just start with an exhale all together. And then when you're ready, breathing in through the nose. And then exhale. You can either exhale through the mouth or through the nose. Again, breathing in. Exhale. 3 more breaths. Really focusing on long, slow, deep exhale breaths. Following that out breath all the way to the end. Just do one more. And then after that, you're welcome to either leave your hands on your belly where they are, if that feels really nice. Or if you want to open up a little bit more across the chest, you could spread your arms out nice and wide, a bit like a starfish. And you could just relax into the pose like this. If you like, close down your eyes. And I want you to tune in your awareness with the physical body, noticing the sensation in your legs. Observe the back of your legs that touch the chair or the wall, the bed. Perhaps even noticing the texture, hardness, softness. And just use the breath, just like we were before, using the exhale breath to allow the body, to allow the nervous system to really unravel little threads of tension, especially in the legs and in the hip joints. And really, there's a 2-part process to this. There's the act of being conscious of that exhale breath, which is the surrender. And there's also the act of purposefully or intently tuning into your sense of gravity and weight in your body. And exploring this as a relationship with the earth element in your body. And it's this sort of give and take of gradual surrender. Especially in and around the hip joints. And if you're finding it a little challenging to feel a sense of release, just focus on one little point at a time. So you might take your awareness to your left hip and you might sort of feel around, the back or the side of that hip joint. You might be aware of a little bit of holding tension in the glutes, the buttocks. And just see if you can, just even if you say the words, let go or release as you exhale. And then do the same on the other side, right side of the hip. Exhale, let go. And then on your next few breaths, just return into the feeling of the weight, even if you visualize the head of the femur, the thigh bone. If you can feel the weight of them kind of sinking into the hip joints. And then just allow yourself a few more moments just for some stillness. Just being in witness, observing. If it feels nice for you, just taking a few deeper breaths. Sometimes in this restorative posture, especially if you've been on your feet throughout the day, you can feel little parts, little threads of tension in the feet, the legs, just unlocking, unraveling. All right. So now we're going to slowly sort of bring ourselves out of this posture. And we're going to make our way into a twist on the floor. So depending on what prop you're using here, you might find it easy to just first of all bring your feet, your knees in towards your chest, interlace your fingers and just let the weight of your arms kind of press down into your legs into the chest. Take a couple of breaths there. And you may need to use, before you slide onto your side, you might need to use your feet just to push away your chair if you or if you're up against the wall, you might need to wiggle up a little bit so you've got a bit more space. So we'll come down into our twist. Now I invite you, I'm going to go onto my left side first. Now some of you might like to utilize a prop like your blanket, and you might like to use that between your knees. And then allow yourself the freedom to just explore where it's comfortable for your arms to be. So depending on how intense you want to make your twist, and we are going to hold the twist for a little bit longer than normal. So just have, if you're on your left side like me, just extend the left arm out and then just unravel that right arm, and it might open all the way out to the other side like aeroplane arms, or you might find that you've got to bring it down towards your hip, or even just let the hand rest on your waist. Bend the elbow, whatever works for you. And then some of you might even want to turn the head and look in the opposite direction, if that feels good and supportive for you. And then once you've found your spot, just return to nice easeful breath. Also just thinking some of you might feel a little bit of intensity on that hip. You could just simply pop your blanket underneath your bottom leg just to take a little bit of extra pressure off there. So there's many different ways we can play with our twist to make it work for us, extending and lengthening the spine, and then just finding your place of stillness. Bring your attention to your breath. Where the mind goes, the energy follows. Nice deep breaths into the belly. Perhaps counting to 3 or 4 with each breath. So we'll do a few together. So let's breathe in 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. It's continuing like that. Adjust the count if it feels a little strenuous in any way, or perhaps you might want to go a little longer. I'm really encouraging you just to be observing what it is that your body experiences in the posture. Observing the mind. Does the mind easily drift off into thought? Or are you able to stay present in the abundant present moment? About 5 more breaths here. Relaxing all the muscles in the face. When you're ready, we're going to slowly unravel ourselves out of this and make our way to the other side. So just start with your opposite arm or your right arm that's extended out. Just bring that close into the body. And then bring your other hand down to your legs. You might want to squeeze your blanket or squeeze your knees together as you bring them back up. Shuffle your bottom. And then slowly make your way down to the other side. Just taking whatever next steps you need to make yourself feel comfortable in your twist. I always love to extend my spine, so sort of pressing into my elbows and using the back of my head to sort of lift and lengthen through the spine. And remember that some of you might feel you need to have your other arm on the opposite side bent. Especially some people have shoulder issues as well, where they might find it a little bit challenging. And when you find your spot, let's do a couple of breaths together. So a little exhale into your belly first. And when you're ready, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. As you exhale, you feel the belly slowly contract back towards the spine. And then when you breathe in, feel the belly expanding. And then exhale. Inhale. Just continue with the breath. You might enjoy closing your eyes as you do the practice. You might notice little points of tension in the body or restriction. And when we notice these aspects of our physical body, our physical self, always sort of approach it with a sense of kindness to the self, non-judgment. And in fact, a little bit of loving kindness, just to know that these sensations that we feel in the body are often just messages that we need to give that part of our body a little bit more attention, more focus. Also enjoying, while I'm in these twists, just bringing my awareness to my spine and beginning with the very base of the spine, the coccyx, the tailbone. Being aware of the sacrum, the big vertebra of the lumbar spine, the discs between the spine. And every breath that we take just helps to sort of release tension up and down the spine and just help to keep the space there and protect the discs of the spine. And then moving your awareness up to the thoracic spine, the vertebrae that are attached to your ribs. And these are the vertebrae that are responsible for most of the twisting. And we can really tune into the breath here. And in particular, feel it in the lungs. Feel that expanding and contracting. Again, to add a little bit more space between those vertebrae. And then all the way up into the cervical spine, the vertebra of the neck. We'll just do a couple more breaths. All right. So when you're ready, just unravel the arms first. You might need to remove your blanket, come onto your back. Excuse me. We're going to roll all the way over. And we're going to do fish. So you'll need to be on your belly. Now you might want to use your blanket. Maybe, maybe not. And the right leg. So one leg is straight. The other leg is bent. So that it's kind of the inner side of your right knee. It's just resting on the ground. And the inner side of the shin or the calf of that right leg. So it's resting on the ground, and then you could use your blanket as a little prop, but you don't have to. It can also go your head can go on the ground, and then this other hand can just, rest at a cactus arm or right ankle, just off to the side. So just, again, make sure you feel comfortable. This is a really nice pose just to gently open up into the hip. For some of you, if you've got that flexibility in your spine, you can turn your head in the opposite direction. And what's nice about this posture is that you can feel your belly. You can feel the breath in your belly as your belly sort of presses on the ground. And we'll just do about 10 breaths here. As you breathe here, you can bring your attention to the back of your body, even the kidneys. Do 3 more breaths. Very good. All right. So to come out of this, just push into your elbows and then slowly slide that right leg back. And then just simply side. So now you slide that left leg up and bring the right. I'm just going to keep my head turned the opposite way so I can watch the screens. So for some of you, this might be a fairly intense stretch into that inner thigh and the hip. Whatever it is for you, just using the breath. Sometimes even that inner side of the knee can feel a little bit, like you can feel it pressing on the ground. Just observe the sensations. See if you can soften into it with your breath. And with every in-breath, expanding into the back of the body. And do about 4 more breaths. When you're ready, just slowly unravel that leg. So that one's finished. And we're going to come back onto our back for a little bit of a heart opener. So once again, you'll need your blanket rolled up, and you might want to roll it a little bit tighter to make it a little higher if you want a bit more of a if you want to open up a little bit more through the heart. So just pop it. I like to have it right at the base of the ribs here, sort of just below the shoulder blades, so that when you come back, you really feel like all your arms can just sort of flop to the ground. And then if you like, you could sort of tuck your tail under a little bit and also work with a reclined butterfly here. Now, if that's a bit too intense, and if you've got cushions close by, you could prop yourself just in under here, or if it gets a bit too much after a few minutes, just simply straighten out the legs. You don't want to overdo it here, especially if you're a little tight through the hips. For some people, that's not a problem. And as we do these poses, and this is the beauty of, exploring this practice and really making it your own, because it really is a way that we can begin to learn our own personal boundaries. Because as we explore even these physical postures in the body, we start to discover what our own limitations are, our own boundaries with it. And it's really important to remember that when we're working with our hips, every one of us has an individual shape. The femur actually sits in the hip sockets, and we each have a different angle in which our hips face. So for some people, what that means is that external rotation is going to be quite easy and natural. And then for other people, it's actually going to be a little bit more challenging, and that's to do with the actual bone structure. So use the practice as an opportunity to not
be hard on yourself and to drive yourself to want to, you know, achieve the perfect posture, but rather to build the relationship with your own boundaries. And even within that, it's getting to refine your awareness around whether it's a mental boundary, a mental limitation, or an actual physical limitation. And this is the beauty of the practice. When we spend the time to explore. And then, of course, for some people, you might find just the opening up into the heart can be a little bit intense as well. So just being gentle or being active with the breath, whatever sort of nourishes and supports you quite intuitively. You might even like to take the hands up over your head to really open up into the front of the body here. And just focusing on the breath. We're just going to take probably about 5 more breaths here. And then when you feel ready, you might like to just bring the knees back together out of the butterfly. And we'll just bring our arms down, roll over to the side so that we can make our way up to sitting. So we're going to do, I'm just going to mute you, Rose. We're going to work now. If again, you might like to use your little prop here to support you a little bit in this seated posture. And of course, if you've got a chair, you could do the breath in your chair or on your lounge. It is ideal to have your spine nice and upright though. So I do find having a fairly firm surface underneath you helps you to get that sort of lift up through the body. And, you know, you can have the legs crossed in any way. If you feel quite comfortable with a half lotus, you could give that a try as well. Now, the other thing also is that sometimes just having the knees a little closer, lower than the hips can help to support you a little bit better. So we're going to just do some rounds of the alternate nostril breath. This practice is a very good one for helping to harmonize and balance like both sides of the brain, the sun energy, the moon energy, and it's just a really nice one for the nervous system. So I'm sure most of you have done it before. You can also do this just as a visualization practice. You don't even have to do the hand movement if you're disciplined enough. But use your right hand, and you can either rest so we use the thumb on the right side of the nostril and the the ring finger on the left. And then we're left with the other 2 fingers. Now, some people like to tuck it into the palm, and then others like to rest it on the third eye. And that can be just a nice point of reference for you as well. And the point of the nose where we're just allowing our ring finger and our thumb to rest is just below the bridge of the nose, just below where it starts to go soft. And you don't have to press really hard when you do this practice. So we're going to begin breathing in on the left. So let's just perhaps just make sure you feel nice and comfortable. We're going to take a couple of breaths into the belly first. I like to do this practice with my eyes closed. Nice upright spot posture. So take a little exhale breath. Let's breathe in. And then exhale. And then now we'll start the practice. So release that ring finger. So we're breathing in through the left nostril. And then switch sides. So now we release the thumb and we exhale through the right nostril. Keep the hand as it is. Breathe in through the right. And then switch sides. Exhale through the left nostril. That's one full cycle. Breathing in through the left. Switch. And do that switch slowly. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Switch. Exhale through the left. And use your belly breath as well. Let's count this time. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and switch. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Little pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and then switch. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Switch sides. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. And switch. Exhale through the left, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Switch sides. Exhale through the right, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Switch sides. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So breathing in through the left. Switch. Exhale right. Inhale right. Switch. Exhale left. We'll do 4 more. Breathing in. Switch. Exhale. Inhale. And switch sides and exhale. Breathing in. Switch sides, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And exhale through the left. Good. Let's do 2 more, just do them on your own. Very good.
And just completing that practice. All right. So the breath, come back to a natural position. Now we're going to complete our practice today just with a short guided meditation. So once again, just take a moment just to try and get yourself comfortable. We just had a little bit of a issue with Facebook where it didn't work because my phone overheated, but it's okay, I'll just share it. All right, let's do our meditation here. So just take a moment just to feel the effects in your body. Just notice what you observe. And I want you to bring your awareness to your breath and just allow the breath to be gentle but still conscious of the breath. So just observe, this sort of gentle in and out, this ebb and flow of the breath. And then I want you to slowly, in your mind, visualize your body and the posture. If you're seated, visualize the shape of your body. Some of you might choose to lie down instead. Be aware of your spine, the bridge between heaven and earth. And I want you to, as you tune into your breath, with every exhale, I want you to imagine that you have roots, energetic roots. And with every exhale, you're sending those roots deep, deep, deep down into the earth, through all the layers, the dirt, the rock, underwater aquifers, all the way to the earth's core. And when you wrap your energetic roots around the very core of the earth, you feel nourished, you feel secure, steady, you feel supported, provided for. You know that via the root energy center, the foundation, the energetic foundation, that your body can open to receive nourishment from Mother Earth. And so visualize this energy moving up, streaming up into your body, drawing up through the base energy center, up through the legs, the base, up through the sacral, the solar plexus, up through the heart, the throat, the inner vision, the crown, swelling through every part, every cell in your body. And then just hold the focal point of that energy in your heart space. And then bring your awareness to the energy of perhaps the sun, or you might think of it like God source energy, universal energy, cosmic energy, whatever resonates for you. And I want you to visualize it in its infinite nature. And visualize that like a stream of light energy coming down through, like a beam of light, or a waterfall down through the crown of your head, bathing and nourishing every every cell in your body, all the way to the tips of your fingers, tips of your toes. And then again, just feel that energy accumulating in the heart. And so now we have these two different energies, sort of cosmic energy, sun energy, and then we have the energy from the earth nourishing us. And imagine that these two energies sort of intertwine in the heart space and then expand outwards. Expand outwards to fill every part of your being, your energy field. And you can feel that expressing outwards in the way of love to everyone around you, reaching further and further and further to take in the people you know, your community, country, and then the whole of the earth. And then as we complete this practice, you might like to bring your hands to the heart, and you can either rest them palms on the chest or bring hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position. And just bowing down to the heart, knowing that this part of us where our survival centers meet our spiritual centers, and this place of wisdom. And just really feel into the gratitude. And at any time we can just tune into our heart space just with our breath, just noticing our breath, breathing into the heart. And consciously be aware of that which you wish to dedicate gratitude for in your life. Being present with yourself, aspects of nature that you find nourishment in, and people around you. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands up to your forehead. Maybe have clarity in our perception. Hands at the throat. Maybe have truth in our expressions. And then hands at the heart. Maybe feel joy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Just going to end the recording.